بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Now after speaking about Muhammad, go there. Assalamu alaikum. After speaking about the first generation who are called what? With the Prophet? Companions. And the second generations who are called Tabi'een or followers. They are followers of the companions. We come now to speak about those who also were with the Prophet, but they are not companions, they are family. The family of the Prophet. And this is their Arabic and Islamic name, Ahlul Bayt. If you Google this, you can find it on Google, Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt means the family of the house, the people of the house, meaning the house of the Prophet. And if we search this book, we will find many references to this family in this book, in the Holy Quran. Many, many. God always speaks about them with respect, with reverence, with admiration, because they gave their life to protect this religion. They sacrificed. They were leaders in giving, in sacrificing, in contribution. They were very sincere. Islam, for them, religion was not business. No, it was conviction. They loved it. Not because they made money out of it, no. They spent their money, actually. They spend their food. Sometimes they starve, they don't eat. They take their food, they give it to others. So it wasn't, Islam for them, it was not a commercial enterprise. It was not. It was a conviction. They loved it. For others, it could be commercial because they wanted to save themselves from being killed, from being harassed, from being chased. So they joined the group, joined Islam. Not with full conviction, not with their hearts, but because they wanted to join the majority. But for this family, they defended Islam with their blood, with their soul. So in this chapter, this is chapter 35. When you go home, check it out. Chapter 35, Surah Fatir, ascender, Fatir. Fatir is because God is the ascender of the heaven and the earth. You memorize it?
Just recently.
Yeah. He started memorizing the Quran, Muhammad. So in this, verse 32, God says, we bequeathed this book. Bequeathed. ثم أورثنا الكتاب. ثم أورثنا الكتاب. We bequeathed this book. الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا. Bequeathed. We bequeathed the book. We gave, it means we gave the book. Book means this. This is called book. Sometimes it's called Quran, and many times it's called book. Not only the Quran, even the Bible, even the Old Testament, Torah, is also called book. So God says, we have bequeathed this book to those that we chose. And those that we chose, الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا, those that we chose from among our servants. And those who we chose, it means what? We bequeath the book. We bequeathed the book to those who we chose. Who we chose. Who are those who we chose? Who did he choose to get the book and the knowledge of this book? The family of the Prophet. So nobody could rival them when it comes to the understanding of the Quran, the interpretation of the Quran, the metaphors. Sometimes the Quran has two levels. One, the surface level, everyone can see. This is interpretation. One, the deeper level. Not everyone can see and can reach. Like divers. Some people swim, but some people dive, they go deep. Not everyone can go deep into the sea. Only professional divers. Those were divers, but not in the ocean in this book. They dive to discover the treasures and the beauty and the meaning, the inner meaning. Because we have meaning and we have inner meaning. Meaning is when you read and you understand, but there is deeper meaning, inner meaning. It has metaphors and it has ta'wil. We call it ta'wil. Ta'wil means deeper understanding of the book. So God says, we have given it to them, this inner meaning of the book, inner interpretation. And sometimes it is called esoteric meaning. Esoteric meaning. Esoteric means the deeper meaning of the book. ESO. No. Let me change the spelling, please. Wait 1 second. So it is ESO. ESOTERIC. ESOTERIC. Esoteric meaning. This means the ta'wil, the deeper interpretation. So God says we have given it to this family, to this group. And of course, the ayah continues and it says, it divides the ummah, the Muslim ummah, into three. This book divides the Muslim community into three levels. One of them, first level, فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. In this ummah, in this community, some of them they wrong themselves. ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. First group, they are wrongdoers. The second group, وَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ. مُقْتَصِد. They take the middle course. مُقْتَصِد means they take middle. And the third group are وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقٌ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. And among them are those who are foremost in goodness, foremost in good deeds. The third group are those who are foremost in good deeds. Who are those people?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Is this the continuation of the other ayah?
Yeah. No, the same ayah, it continues. First it says, we bequeath the book, ثم أورثنا الكتاب الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا. Those that we chose from among our servants. And then, period. Then it says, among the nation, our nation, there are three groups. فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. The first group are the wrongdoers. The second group, those are in the middle. They don't do justice, they don't do injustice, but they don't even do excellent. They are in the middle. And those who are the elite. They are foremost in good deeds. وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقٌ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ. Foremost. They are pioneers. Pioneers in goodness. Okay? So who are they? What is the meaning of it? If you open the tafasir, there is 500 meanings. But we get from the purest source. Purest source. If they bring you 2 cups, 2 bottles, water bottles. One of them is opened, the cover is missing. One of them is still sealed. Which one you take?
Open one.
You take the open one, it's open, it doesn't have a cover.
Yeah.
And the other is sealed.
I get sealed one.
Of course, because this, probably the open one has a problem. Maybe contaminated, maybe there are some germs inside when they opened it, but the sealed one, nobody touched that. So you go to the pure one. The same thing with religion. We go to the pure source, the family of the Prophet. It doesn't mean others are bad, necessarily bad. No, but we always choose the best. We follow the best. 2 teachers. You have 2 teachers. One of them is 50-50. He's doing 50-50. The other is excellent. Which one you go? To which class you go?
Excellent one.
Which is this one, me here. Okay? So you go to the best, of course. We did this. The Shia, they followed the family of the Prophet because they were number 1. They don't cheat, they don't lie, they don't exaggerate. They received their knowledge from the Prophet himself without any intermediaries, first-hand experience. They were with the Prophet. So of course we will go to them. Why should I go to someone who came from the desert? I go to the one who was with the Prophet all the time. So who are those 3, my friends? The 3 are this one, this group, those who do not know the Imam of the time, the Imams or the leaders. They don't know the Imams. Those, the middle one, are those who recognize the Imam. And the third one are the Imams themselves. Those are the Imams. Imams. Those are the one who know the Imam. Those who are the one who don't.
Is it
Don't.
stated that they don't know him or they don't recognize him?
They don't recognize. They have no business with the Imam.
They know who he is, but they just reject
No,
him.
no. Knowing, when we say knowing, it means know and follow and recognize, of course. Of course. Knowing here, it means knowing and following, not just knowing. Na'am, Baba.
What about those people who they followed in the path of the Imams, but they were naive enough to be brainwashed to not know who the Imam was?
No, see, when you follow someone, definitely you're going to know his or her position. You're going to know them. You're going to know them because it's impossible for someone who follows an Imam and then he shifts away from him with no reason. There are many who followed the Imams. They were their students, but because of politics, they shift away. Because of politics. Because it is more profitable not to follow the Imam. If I want to find a job, it's like here in America. Here in America, if they know you are very good Muslim, practicing Muslim, they don't offer you the job. But if they know you are secular, you don't care about Islam, your chances of getting the job is bigger. And this is the same everywhere. Yes?
Okay, so individuals in general, the best they're going to be part of number 2 over here.
Yes. Yeah.
But does that weight of it? But when it says the middle course, it makes it sound like
Middle course, it means they are neither pioneers, imams, they are not
Right.
ordinary people, nor they are sinners. They are okay. They are okay. But they are not outstanding. Muqtasid means they are, take the middle course, in the middle. They are not outstanding in their deeds. Not outstanding, yes.
But throughout the course of the Imams, especially during like Imam Hassan or Hussein's time, wasn't there people who were very outstanding in their religion and in their path?
Yeah.
But they were not part of the Imam.
Yeah. They were not part of the imams.
They were companions, very close companions of the Imams, but they were not the Imams.
They were not, of course, of course. Still, this one goes, this title applies to them. Because this one, foremost, it means Anbiya and imams, leaders. And this is not only for the Quran. Some commentators believe that any book, when it says a book, not necessarily the Quran. Quran is one of them. We bequeath the knowledge of the Bible to, again, you have three groups. The Torah, you have three groups. Okay? Why? Yes.
So let's say Salihin fall in the second group.
Yeah.
Ulama
Salih. Salihin, yeah. Yeah.
Say, does this, you know, how we say the Quran explains the Quran, so is this a continuation of Surah Al-Waqi'ah where it says what?
السابقون السابقون
No.
أصحاب اليمين
كنتم
أزواجا ثلاثة فأصحاب اليمين. Yeah, it could be. It could be again. This one. Yes, yeah. So Ahlul Bayt, the Prophet Muhammad himself, he mentioned them many times during his lifetime. But one of the best sayings of the Prophet regarding his family was the very famous hadith. Very famous saying of the Prophet. The hadith which says, I am leaving behind among you two important things, weighty things. One is the book of God, Kitab Allah. The second is my family. My family. And the Prophet is using ثقلين. ثقلين الثقلين. This is known as Hadith الثقلين. ثقلين. This is a very famous hadith of the Prophet, ثقلين. Meaning two, what does ثقلين means? Two important things. This is one of them and this is the other. And this hadith is being narrated by hundreds of historians, hundreds of interpreters of the Quran, hundreds of transmitters of hadith. Hundreds. One of them, an Egyptian author who lived probably 500 years ago in Egypt. His name is very famous. His name is Ibn Hajar. Ibn Hajar. Ibn Hajar. Okay? Ibn Hajar al-Haythami. They call him Hafiz. Hafiz Ibn Hajar al-Haythami. He was born in Egypt in this year, 904. And he died in Mecca 973. Okay? This man wrote a very important book. Very important book. You can find it everywhere nowadays. His book is الصواعق المحرقة. الصواعق What does صواعق المحرقة means? What does صاعقة means? Thunder, thunderbolts. That burning thunderbolts. So even the title of the book is very, very heavy. Burning thunderbolts. Burning thunderbolts. Okay? And this is the name of the author, Ibn Hajar. He, in his book, he says, I am criticizing the Shia. But I think he did the best service to the Shia. If you read the book, you will realize. Though the title of the book says, I am rebutting the Shias and refuting their argument, but the book, when you read it from cover to cover, it's all pro-Shia and pro-Ahlul Bayt. Pro-Ahlul Bayt. And then he comes to this hadith. He says this hadith is authentic. And then he traces the roots of this hadith in major Sunni sources. Whether they are book of history, or the seerah, the life of the Prophet, or the interpretation of the Quran, or the book of narration, hadith. He will put them down in his book. To support, to say this hadith is very authentic, is very powerful, and it's one of the foundations of our faith. He goes to, first of all, Sahih Muslim. Sahih Muslim, he mentions this book, this hadith.
And do they say, does it say in there, Kitab Allah and Itrati?
Yes, yeah, Itrati, yeah.
Sunnah?
No, Sunnati he doesn't, he mentions, but what the books that mentions the family, Itrati. He's putting the references of the books that says specifically my family, not the Sunnah. And then he has a comment. He says, Kitab Allah wa Sunnati. Sunnah is part of the Quran, because Quran without Sunnah does not work. So there is no need for the Prophet to say Sunnah, because he already said the Quran. And Sunnah and the Quran, they go together. Sunnah means the sayings of the Prophet. So it has to be part of the Quran. Because the Quran alone does not function if we don't have the Sunnah. So there is no point in saying wa Sunnati, but there is point in saying wa Itrati, because they are the teachers of the Quran, the interpreters of the Quran. He has a good argument.
So is there any word that it says was sunnati, like as a hadith?
They have, in some books they put. And this man, Ibn Hajar, first of all, he's Shafi'i, and he's Ash'ari also. Do you remember when we spoke about Ash'arite and Mu'tazilite? So one of the references is Sahih Muslim. Sahih Muslim in the Sunni tradition is very important reference, very important book. Sahih Muslim. I'll write it here. This is Mizuki, this is the name of a book. Book where it contains the sayings of the Prophet. So one of them is Sahih Muslim. And what else? One of them is Tirmidhi. Sahih al-Tirmidhi. Tirmidhi also. By the way, Tirmidh is in Iran, huh? The village of Tirmidh is in Iran. So Tirmidhi is from Iran. Okay, Sunan al-Tirmidhi, Sunan. He mentions the hadith in Tirmidhi. And Sunan al-Darimi also. Darimi was one of the references of the Sunni tradition. Okay, Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal, the book of Imam Ahmad, also he mentions Wa'itrati, my family. Okay. And Kanz al-Ummal again by a Sunni scholar, Muttaqi al-Hindi. But then, you know what is really striking? Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir, he hates the Shia. Ibn Kathir al-Dimashqi, he's from Damascus, Syria. His tafsir is Ibn Kathir. Even in his book, Ibn Kathir, he says that the Prophet said, the book of God and my family. Ibn Kathir. I'll write his name. Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir. Okay? So, this guy, amazing. He was supposed to attack the Shia and put them down and refute their argument, but I don't know. Whether knowingly, unknowingly, on purpose, without purpose, I don't know. I don't know how to interpret that.
Say that they define Ahl al-Bayt or the family differently?
No. He says Muslim was asked in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet was asked, not the Prophet, one of the companions, Ibn Abbas, was asked, is the family the wives of the Prophet? Ibn Abbas said, no. His wives are not his family. His wives are his wives. Today he marries one, tomorrow he divorces her. She's not part of the family. Family is the inner circle. Alu Aliyin, and then Sahih Muslim says, Alu Aliyin wa Alu Aqil wa Alu Ja'far wa Alu Abbas. Those four. Alu Ali, the children of Ali. Alu Ja'far, Ja'far is the brother of Ali. Aqil is the brother of Ali. And wa Alu Abbas, Abbas is the uncle of the Prophet. His son is Abdullah. So it's all the family, the blood related people to them. They are related to the Prophet by blood. Those are the family of the Prophet.
So the Abbasid Empire sort of wrote that one? Did the Abbasid dynasty
Yeah,
use this one?
yeah, they use this. They use this, yeah. They use this one. So in this hadith, there are three. This hadith has three connotations. We will go through them tonight. Through meanings, through connotations. Okay? Hadith al-Thaqalain. The Prophet says, when I die, I'm going to leave two things behind me. So you don't get lost, my community. One is this book, the Quran. Second are my family who are going to teach you this book. Teachers. And if you get hold of these two, the book and my family, you are not going to be misguided. You don't go into the wrong direction. So this hadith, number one, and this is Ibn Hajar is saying, this is not a Shia scholar. Ibn Hajar says we understand the three lessons from this hadith. Number one, لزوم مودتهم. It's mandatory upon us to love them. Mandatory. To love them. Meaning it's not a choice. Well, you can love or you don't love. No, you must. The Prophet says, I'm leaving these things. So you must love them. لزوم مودتهم. Their love is mandatory upon us. And then he says, because we understand this from the other sentences of the Prophet. انظروا كيف تخلفوني فيهما. Ibn Hajar says, show me how. Be careful how you are going to treat them after me. تخلفوني means after my death. How are you going to treat them? Be careful. This is one. The second, أوصيكم بعترتي خيرا. I am advising you that you take care of my family after me. Number three sentence, the Prophet said, أذكركم الله في أهل بيتي. I take God as a witness that you take care of my family after me. So he says these things, not one or two situation, not or two sentences. Every time he reminds his community to take care of them. And then he says, Ibn Hajar again, he says, the hadith of the Prophet, which we all know, but when I say it is something and when someone who opposes me says it is something else. Okay? We have a proverb in the Quran. When the enemy admits something, we say, وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِنْ أَهْلِهَا. شَهِدَ a witness from them testified. Yes, Yusuf, yeah. Yeah, because someone, when Joseph was accused of trying to approach the lady, someone came from their side, he said, no, Yusuf is innocent. So he was from their side who testified on behalf of Joseph, the innocence of Joseph. So this goes as a Zarbul Masal proverb. When someone from the other side, he admits, we say, see, he's from the other, he's my enemy. He's in the other camp, but he admits the truth. And this becomes more credible and stronger. Sometimes you speak about yourself, okay, everybody speak. But when the enemy speaks about you highly, then this is important. Okay, it has more value. It has more value. In the Quran, وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِنْ أَهْلِهَا. من أهلها. The Prophet says, Ibn Hajar say, he says the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا تقدموهما فتهلكوا. Do not go before them. Don't do anything before them. Don't say anything before them. Don't be before them. You're going to perish if you be before them. ولا تقصروا عنهما فتهلكوا. Don't again be behind them, too far from them. Neither in front of them, you speak before them, you give your opinion before them, nor behind them that you get disconnected. Be with them. And وَلَا تُعَلِّمُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ أَعْلَمُ مِنْكُمْ. Don't try to teach my family, because they are the most knowledgeable. They know better than you do. This is the hadith of the Prophet. Hadith regarding his family. But when someone like Ibn Hajar puts this in his book, this is amazing. This is amazing. Not only that, amazing. I am telling you, this Ibn Hajar is mind-boggling. When I was reading this, I was 15 years old. At that time, I remember, I said to myself, he's a Shia.
Yeah.
He's not. Yes, he wrote on his book that I'm opposing the Shia Rafida, this and that.
He wanted to
I
probably
think
bring
it's
people
just the
in.
cover.
Probably he wanted to publish his book, so people can read these things and then they can judge. Even if the title is, bad, at least track them, let them read it. Amazing things, believe me. It gives me goosebumps, believe me. I used to read this, my maternal grandfather, not paternal, the father of my mother, I used to go to his house, he would bring the old copy and he will say, Mustafa, listen to what this guy is saying. And then he shuts the book. He says, is he Sunni? Look at what he's saying about Ahl al-Bayt. And then in the ayah, وَقِفُوهُمْ إِنَّهُمْ مَسْئُولُونَ Surah Al-Saffat 37:24. 37:24.
Is this say it's still supporting
Yeah.
connotation one?
Yeah. We are still in number 1. We will go to 2 and 3 inshallah.
27 or 20?
No, 37. Saffat. 37 and 24. Okay?
27.
No, 37, 24. 24. Sorry. Yeah. 24. Surah Al-Saffat. وَقِفُوهُمْ إِنَّهُمْ مَسْئُولُونَ. When you go home, check it out. وَقِفُوهُمْ إِنَّهُمْ مسؤولون. Stop them. On the day of judgment, God says to the angels, stop the people, stop them. Stop them. They are responsible. They are responsible. Responsible for what? You know what Ibn Hajar says? He said this is a reference to, he says, Ibn Hajar, he says the Prophet says, إِنَّهُمْ مَسْئُولُونَ. The Prophet said, إِنَّهُمْ مَسْئُولُونَ عَنْ وِلَايَةِ عَلِيِّ ibn Abi Talib. They're going to ask them special question. Did you follow the wilayah, the leadership, the guardianship of Ali or not? Ibn Hajar says, do you need a more powerful evidence than this? You must buy this book and read it, believe me, because it has been translated. You must read this book to see what this man says.
Say, what's the like 37:23? Because when it says and stop them.
Stop them.
Yeah,
وَقِفُوهُم.
37:23. What's 37:23 say?
20.
Like it leads up to say and stop them.
And do you memorize Saffat?
I can't pull up my head.
I'll let you know. It's in page 37, 446. 446.
إن من دون الله فهدي ولا صوت الجحيم.
وقفوهم إنهم مسؤولون. Yeah. It's 446. Yeah, exactly. It's speaking about the day of judgment. Day of judgment, Safat, which is 24. Yeah, yeah. احشروا الذين ظلموا وأزواجهم وما كانوا يعبدون. Gather them. من دون الله, those who worship other than God, guide them to the hellfire. وقفوهم, another sentence. And stop all the people here, not just one group. إنهم مسؤولون. So he says the Prophet said this, مسؤولون عن ولاية علي ibn Abi Talib. Okay, this man. So, and he says, he gets a reference from Wahidi. Who's Wahidi? Wahidi is one of the Sunni scholars who wrote a book. His book, Wahidi, his book on Shawahid al-Tanzil, occasions of descent. Why this ayah came, why that ayah came, in what occasion this ayah came, in what occasion that one. He has a book, Wahidi, Shawahid al-Tanzil. He says the Prophet, in his book, the Prophet is going to, the Prophet said they're going to be asked about the wilayah of Imam Ali on this day. أضاعوها وأهملوها. Did they neglect it, turned away from it, or they took care of it? This is one of the questions that people are going to be asked on that day. So number one is mandatory love. Okay? What is number two takeaway from this? That their leadership is continuous. Is continuing. The leadership is continuing. Why? Because the Prophet said in his hadith al-Thaqalain, they are not going to be departed from each other. As long as the Quran is there, the family are there. They are not going to be separated. So we cannot come across a time where there is no Imam. Can we come across a time where there is no Quran? No. Quran is always there, this book. In the same fashion, we would not come across a time where there is no Imam. And this is one of the evidences that Imam al-Mahdi, the 12th Imam, still exists. Not that he is going to be born. If he's going to be born, it means now we don't have Imam. It means that we are going through a period of vacancy. And that vacancy does not happen. Period of occultation, yes. We don't see him, but he is there. And then he says something also interesting. He says that God said to the Prophet that as long as you are, this is in Surah Al-Anfal, 833. 833, check it out when you go home. 833. 833. Surah Al-Anfal, chapter 8. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَأَنْتَ فِيهِمْ. God says to the Prophet, as long as you, Muhammad, you are among your community, God is not going to punish them out of respect for you, because you are source of love and mercy. So even those, some people, they sin, they commit crime, God is not going to punish them. He says this is true with the family of the Prophet. As long as the family of the Prophet are among the community, the ummah, God is not going to punish them. What sort of punishment is meant here?
Perishing?
Perishing. Not that they are not going to suffer, they are not going to lose this land or this country. No. Perishing. Why? Because previous communities, they were perished. And their stories are written in the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Bible, the Quran. Ad, Thamud, Shu'aib, Lut, all those communities, they perished completely. God sent His wrath on them. Okay? But this community, as long as the family of the Prophet before him, his family is among the community, God is going to keep it immune from punishment. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُم. God is, check these when you go home. In order for these to stay with you, you have to check the verse. Go home, read the verse. So this means that someone from the Prophet's family is among us. He cannot be absent. And we believe he is Imam al-Mahdi now. Infallible, of course. Otherwise, children of the Prophet are so many. But infallible Imam. This is what he says. This is number 2. So their leadership is continuing. Number 3, he says we learn from this hadith, hadith al-Thaqalain, إنهم الراسخون في العلم والمصداق الأوفى لأهل الذكر. They are the well versed in knowledge. They are أهل الذكر. They are well versed in knowledge, the top people in knowledge. Okay? They are the ones. Why? Because the Prophet left the Quran among them, and the Prophet would not see. The Prophet, he worked very hard to receive this from God. And when you have something precious, do you leave it with someone that you don't trust, or you leave it with someone that you trust? If you have money, if you have this, do you keep it with someone that you trust, or you keep it with someone that you don't trust? Which one?
Sorry, could you repeat the question again? Sorry. Yeah.
Imagine this is yours,
Yeah.
okay? And you want to leave it with someone for some period of time. Do you leave it with someone that you trust,
Trust. Yeah.
or with someone that you don't trust?
Really put trust.
Trust. So the Prophet left this book with people that he trusts, not with anyone. And those that he trusts are his family, because they are the most knowledgeable. And this book is about knowledge. You don't leave your book in the hands of someone who don't read it or who don't understand it. You don't. You are wasting your time. You are doing a disservice to this book if you leave it with people who really do not understand it. So the Prophet, he left it with those who understand it the most. So this is what he says in his book. And they know the outer and the inner of this book. The outer and the inner. The external and the internal. So, having said all that, Ahl al-Bayt are an obvious example. You know, who knows Hamza Yusuf? You all know him. Hamza Yusuf is a friend of mine, an old friend of mine since 1979. I have a picture with him. He insisted on me for several years to give him this picture. For several years. I refused. In London. We are sitting in a room. My beard was like my son. Even less, believe me. I was 17 years old at that time. And he's probably 5 or 6 years older than me. Eventually, I gave him the picture. I sent it to him. I took it with my iPhone and I sent it to him. And one day at a conference packed with Sunni scholars, he said, listen, we were standing and talking. He said, listen, nobody can take precedence over Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt are number one without any argument. Without any argument. I cannot give a preference to someone above Ahlul Bayt. He said this, لا يتقدم على أهل البيت أحد. Of course, he's not the author of this. This is the Prophet. reiterating what the Prophet said 1400 years ago. But to say it in that situation, it requires a lot of courage. A lot of courage. Again, وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا. Not anyone is willing to say this.
He is Sunni.
He's Sunni, but he's a good Sunni. He's open-minded. He's open-minded, okay? So, Ahlul Bayt, no doubt that nobody can underestimate them. Nobody can say there is someone better than Ali ibn Abi Talib in knowledge. Even those who believe that Abu Bakr is the first caliph, Umar is the second, Uthman is the third, they say in knowledge, in bravery, in taqwa, in piety, Ali is number one. But Ali was young. Ali was 33 years old. And Ali had a problem, political problem with the Meccans, because he used his sword to discipline them. So many of them, they don't like him. So it was better for someone elderly in his 60s like Abu Bakr to lead and blah, 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 blah. In my opinion, the main obstacle that is standing in the face of many Muslims today who do not follow the tradition of Ahlul Bayt are not Ahlul Bayt, but we the followers of Ahlul Bayt. Our misbehavior, our misrepresentation. We misrepresent. In the words of someone, friend of mine, Sunni scholar, he said, Ahlul Bayt قضية رابحة يدافع عنها محام خاسر. The case of Ahlul Bayt in the court is a winning case, the strongest case. But unfortunately, the lawyer that is defending it is a weak lawyer. Are you with me? The case is strong. Nobody can rival this case. Nobody can rebuttal the case of Ahlul Bayt. Definitely it's a winning. But those who defend it are weak. Their argument is weak. Their behavior is weak. Does not represent the school of Ahlul Bayt. We are the obstacles. I always say this, and I admit to this. Our behavior puts people off when they come to our circles, our homes, our society, and they look at, is this Ahlul Bayt? I don't want to be. We are not attracting. And Allah says, it's not only the philosophy that bring people to you. It's not only the doctrines, the behavior too. This is why the Prophet said, I'm the teacher of akhlaq. Otherwise the Prophet would say, you believe in monotheism and that is enough. That's the biggest attraction. So don't worry about what you do. Just believe in the unity of God, in Tawheed, monotheism. But he didn't say that. He said, this is not enough. You need to behave well. حسن الأخلاق. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.